But you see, your life in Thailand, if you're on a visa, an non-immigrant visa, in other words, being married to a Thai, means that you're totally dependent on her for your visa. You're completely bloody vulnerable. So that's our vulnerability, lads. We create that vulnerability by allowing ourselves be flung at the behest of an administrative system that is not necessarily working in your favour. And succeeding in getting my driver's licence by myself without her or without an agent on any of that bullshit. Why would anyone use an agent? Do it yourself. Get your independence back. Hi guys, welcome back. Alpha Omega occasionally here again. This video is the sequel to the video I put up just before this about when my wife went away. Well, this is when she came back. This is the day she came back. Well, it's the day after she came back. She was supposed to come back. It's about communication, lads. It's about communication. I can't even say it. I can't even communicate. She said to me, when asked before she went away, I said, when are you coming back? And she said, why do you want to know? As if I was planning something, you see. And then I pursued it. And she said about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Well, typical Thai, saving face. She came back at 8 o'clock last night. And to be honest with you, I was glad she was home. I was glad Harry was home. They're my family. But we had an early night because I had a late night the night before. And I did promise I'd fill you in the details. And that's what I'm going to do in this video. Here's Harry's teacher now coming up the road. He has and it's an ice cream man coming at the same time. Ice cream man coming this way, tutor coming this way. Who will Harry decide on? And we'll have a look at this. Hang on. This is just something that I didn't envisage when I was talking to you, but I am going to go through the details with you, okay? But let's just see what happens. Harry, do you want ice cream? Harry, ice cream! He can't hear me. And your man, that's not his teacher. I thought it was his teacher. It's not his teacher. Driving the same kind of car. Anyway, I missed them both. I'm glad they're back. And I'll go through the details of what happened on the night in question. But in the meantime, I'm going to head down to Macro. Macro is a wholesaler here. You don't need a wholesaler's card in Thailand. Macro is a great place to buy things that you can't get in the regular supermarkets, like good gin. Well, you can get good gin in most supermarkets in Thailand anyway, but you can't get tonic water. And you might say, I bought gin in my last video, which is only 2 days ago. This is Saturday. I bought gin on Thursday. Yes, but what did I do? I didn't drink it all and I left it in Bangkok. So I'm going to buy some more. And what I'm going to do is leave one bottle here, leave one bottle in Bangkok, so I won't be without. And I am drinking, lads, I am drinking. Didn't drink last night, drank the night before, didn't drink the night before that, drank the night before that. Alternate days. When I say didn't drink at all, I don't drink at all. Now, I won't drink at all tomorrow night. But look, I want to tell you the story of what happened the night my wife went away. I'm going to fill you in on some of the details. I can't fill you in all the details, lads, because I don't want to jeopardize my relationship, put it that way. But I'll just tell you a little bit about what went on when we get to Macro. And it's beautiful up here. Really is. So we've just arrived at Macro. This is the wholesalers. They don't allow cameras next or near this place. So I'm proud of fair play to them. That's why I'm standing out here doing this. I went out on Friday. I'm going to get me gin now in a second. I went out on Friday night. When you last saw me in my last video, I was just starting my first gin. And there were a few things to do online. I finished my online activities and then I went out. And I met a friend of mine who will remain nameless. And we had a few drinks. And a few more drinks, and a few more drinks after that. And it went on for a while. But nothing actually happened in terms of what you might think would happen. And I found myself getting home at about 1 a.m.-ish, that kind of thing. Absolutely wasted. Absolutely wasted. I had about 4 glasses of gin before I went out. I had the place we were in, we didn't go directly to the well bar, though we went there later. The place we were in first didn't have Leo, just had Sing, Chang and Tiger. So I went for the lesser of the three evils and I went for Tiger. And it wasn't going down well at all because I got myself this case of heartburn. But anyway, I switched to the gin and tonics. It cost me an absolute fortune. I said I was going out and, you know, I'd probably spend 4,000. I spent 3,000 baht when I went out. You see, this is the thing about going out in Bangkok or even Pattaya or places, anywhere like that. You can spend an absolute bloody, it's $100. And you might say you'd spend a lot more than $100 if you go out somewhere in the West, but $100 is $100 bloody dollars. Anyway, that's what happened. But you see, that leads me on to the subject matter of this video. And John in Thailand, Jon, who's a friend of mine and he has a damn good channel, covered this in his most recent video as well, to a degree. The vulnerability of living here. We're so bloody vulnerable. I put myself in a vulnerable position. And when I went out on tours, even though I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I was in a vulnerable position. And you're in a vulnerable position living in Thailand. Because this is one of the most monocultural countries in the world. You come to a place like this, Macro, it's completely Thai. You realise you're the only honky in town and you're vulnerable. I'll go into some more detail about what I mean about being vulnerable in Thailand when I get me gin. I'm not even sure I want it, but I know if I don't get it now. See, Macro, by the way, is a good drive from where we live. If I don't get it now, I regret it this evening when I probably do want a glass of gin. Anyway, let's go and get it, and I'll talk to you when I finish that. Well, I tell you one thing, lads, it's bloody hot. It's bloody hot. And I intend to stay cool. So I got me Gilbey's, my tonic water, and just because I was a good boy the other night, I got myself some beer lao. This is the natural stuff. It's not the IPA, which I don't like. It's not the dark stuff, which is okay, but not something you drink all night. And it's not the other stuff, whatever the other stuff is, but this is the original beer lao. It's just absolutely spot on. Upsy daisy. I got some Pepsi for Harry. Some Greek yogurt for me to watch the old heartburn, blood pressure, with some paprika. That will do the job, lads, for your high blood pressure. But of course you have to live a healthy lifestyle as well if you're going to be supplementing yourself with things that will reduce your blood pressure. That makes you feel vulnerable as well. But here's the vulnerability. You're married to a Thai woman, and you realise when you have a night off like that by yourself, you feel so independent, and you do things yourself like I did before, like getting my driver's license all by myself, without any agents, without any interference from anybody else. But you see, your life in Thailand, if you're on a visa, non-immigrant O visa, in other words, being married to a Thai, means that you're totally dependent on her for your visa. You're completely bloody vulnerable. And even if you're on a retirement visa, you're vulnerable because you have to apply for it every year. I'm going to put this stuff in the boot, or the trunk, as you say in the States and Canada, and then we'll go home. And I'll go into more detail about this bloody vulnerability, and it really pisses me off. It really does. I'm getting angry actually thinking about it. That I supplement. No, I manipulate my humour by using alcohol because I feel so damn vulnerable in this place. I love it. But I was in there. I'm the only Farang. There was no other Farang. There's thousands of people in there, and the receipts are all in Thai. Look. Monocultural. We're living in a monocultural society. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, But it just shows you when you go into a place like that that you're so much the odd one out. The only honky in town, Mr. Vulnerable. Let's load this up. This isn't my car, by the way, it's hers. We drive this up the Pontoon because she doesn't like my car because she says it's too big. Are we secure? We're as secure as we're going to be. Let's get the hell out of here. Don't lock the key in the boot. Jesus. So I've been dispatched to buy fish food. That's her thing. She likes her fish food. Well, she likes the fish to get the fish food. For me, it's a waste of money. She has these fish in the pond up here. And they're huge. They're absolutely river monsters. But by the way, at this stage, I just want to say something. I want to thank all of you who have helped me keep this channel alive by donating or supporting the channel and buying me a coffee. There you go there, lads. Thank you so much. We're moving forward. We're going to keep moving forward. But we'll get our fish food first. I'll leave the camera trained on the car. I'll go in and ask your man. I have to get my phone. I have to pay for the fish food. In fairness, she pays for a lot. 1 second. Non-crop. A han ba noon crop. A han is food, ba or blah, whatever they call it, is fish. No, okay. Anna. Yes, chai crab. You know. So, got the fish food. And thanks to all of you who are helping support the channel. If you want to do the same, you can scan the QR or click the link below. But here's the deal. We are so goddamn vulnerable. Everything we do here is on a knife edge. You don't know what's going to turn against you. If your wife divorces you, and I know a South African guy who lives in a condo down in Bangkok, he divorced his Thai wife for whatever reason, but I think he had to go immediately. I forget exactly what timeline it was, but his visa was cancelled. That's how much of a knife edge you're on. And you see, I've got everything here. I've got my whole life here. My son is here. I got 3 bloody computers, 2 desktops, 1 laptop, which I can bring with me if I wanted, I suppose. I've got my bank accounts here. I've got my car. This is not my car, this is her car, as I said. I got my car here. How would I be able to wrap up everything if everything went belly up? It's a very, I mean, why do we put ourselves through this? It's not Thailand's fault. It's our fault. Because we're the ones who decide to be here. We're the ones who decide to be here. I'm going to head back. And we reconvene. We might reconvene with a beer lao or something like that. That would be nice. But that might be a little bit later on. Because she's after feeding me fried pumpkin. Absolutely delicious. And it was a mountain of it. So I'm full of carbs. So I want to let that settle down because I can't understand how anybody would drink beer or drink alcohol while eating food. It just does not compute. I'm Irish. It does not compute. There's a time for eating, a time for drinking, and neither of them are the same. You don't consume alcohol with food. Peanuts, crisps, or as you call them in the States and Canada, potato chips, maybe, but not food. No way, Jose. I gotta wait for my stomach to digest what's inside it before I can do that. It's 4:45. Give me an hour or so, but it won't be an hour for you. But just think about how vulnerable you are. Absolutely, completely and utterly fucking vulnerable. And the thing that made me realise my vulnerability is the fact that I went out on Thursday morning and succeeded in getting my driver's licence by myself without her or without an agent on any of that bullshit. Why would anyone use an agent? Do it yourself. Get your independence. months back. God, I don't understand that. In my 13 years in Thailand, I have never used an agent, ever, for anything. And that's even before I met her. I had my own apartment before I met her. I was doing my visa runs before I met her. I applied for my business visa. I was on a business visa for a while before I met her. All without the help of an agent. I don't know the mentality of people who use agents. I really don't. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's not me. I like to keep my independence, and the reason I'm agitated is because I relinquish a huge amount of my independence by being married to a Thai. I'm putting myself in that vulnerable position. They're getting a great kick out of this. Anyway, let's get back to the hacienda. Oh dear God. Fuck it. Ah, got it. What? Where? No, I bought for the fish food. Fuck, she asked for fish food, now she had duck food. Now, oh, okay, you've got some there. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, fuck. God damn. 61 lads, huh? How about that? Oh, dear God. So it's a bit later. This is my old microphone. Do you know something? It seems like a dinosaur now. It's a Yeti, blue Yeti. It cost me about guts of $250 at the time. You see us all the time, no I don't. But anyway, about your insecurities, about the fact that we're absolutely vulnerable, I'm going to coach you something. I'm going into AI mode on this, okay? Thailand's marriage failure rate has been rising, reaching approximately 39% in 2016. Is that microphone facing the right way? 39% in 2016, and estimated 1 in 3, in other words, 33, there you go, 33% in 2024. Historically, the divorce rate in Thailand was much lower in the 1950s. Well, that doesn't matter a damn. But some of the reasons given for this marriage failure, there's no real statistics for, mixed couples of mixed nationalities. In other words, us. But some of the reasons for marriage failure is, the one high on the list is infidelity. In Thailand, infidelity is a huge thing. And I touched on that in this video. I have touched on that in this video. And I was suggesting kind of that in my previous video. Infidelity. It's hard to be loyal in a place like Thailand. If you know what I mean. If you put yourself in those situations. But if that's the case, it's our own fault. It's my own fault if I do that. Then I can't complain about living on a knife edge. I'm putting myself on a knife edge. But other things are cultural differences, like language barriers. That's a huge thing between me and her. That's the misunderstandings that are generated are a result of failure to communicate. It's 90% of our problems stem from that. And I'm not a bit surprised that 33% of marriages fail. So that's obviously 1 in 3. Yeah, 1 in 3. And if you or I are that 1 in 3, where are you going to be? You're going to be out on your ear. It's something worth thinking about. I'm going to have I couldn't face a Leo now. I don't know whether to have a beer lao or a gin and tonic. Let's go for a beer lao. That's what we'll do. And I'll recommence when I've acquainted myself with my beer lao. It might be tomorrow morning, it might be later on this evening, but it won't matter to you at all because it'll be a split second for you. But just think about that. I went into AI mode on the phone for the statistics. It is important to note that some couples in Thailand may separate and live apart without legally formalizing a divorce to avoid social stigma, loss of face, which means other official statistics might not be fully official statistics might not fully capture the instances of marriage breakdown. Well, I can tell you that for nothing. My wife and I are with each other to a large extent because of saving face. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I love her. When it's good, it's very, very... When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bloody bad. But saving face has a lot to do with the status quo. But you can't rely on saving face forever. And that, therefore, you're vulnerable. It's the morning after the night before. I didn't drink much. Didn't drink at all. I drank 1 bottle of beer lao. That's all I could manage. I just wasn't in the humour. But we have the last laugh in terms of vulnerability and ultimate security. And the reason I'm well aware of this is because my Thai wife, who I love, has broached this subject more than once. And I use the word broach the subject, or the term broach the subject, deliberately, because that's what it is. You broach a subject like this. She's talking about the future. She's talking about the relatively near future, pension age. So I'm due for my Irish, Republic of Ireland, not Britain. I'm not British. I believe that the British, I saw on Google there the other day that the retirement age or the pension age in Britain, or the United Kingdom to be more precise, has been increased or has been made variable. I don't really understand what it is, but it's not good news for retirees in the United Kingdom. But for me, a citizen of the Republic of Ireland, we're not affected by that because we're not part of the United Kingdom. And my pension age is 66. I'm 61 now. 62 in 2026. So it's just over 4 years away that I qualify for my Irish state contributory, I'll say it again, contributory state pension. And I have checked, because she has asked me about this, I have checked my entitlement to my Irish state pension and I qualify. And what does this mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. That I will be in receipt of an Irish state pension into my Thai bank account within the next 4 years. She won't, because she doesn't have a Thai state pensions. I'm not an expert on it, but I know certain people who are in receipt of Thai state pensions and are no more than a token amount. There's no way you could survive on a Thai state pension. Absolutely no way, and she knows this. So she's asked me, number one, when do I qualify and how much I get? And crucially, if I die, this has been asked of me. If I die, what happens? Well, I can tell you, God bless An Poblacht na hÉireann, God bless the Republic of Ireland, because a widow can claim her husband's state pension. And she can claim it here. She's Thai, but her son, my son, is an Irish citizen. All she got to do is go to presumably to the embassy, produce my death certificate, along with whatever other documentation required, and she can be in receipt of my state pension. If I'm receiving my state pension while I die, I think the process is probably even simpler. So who's vulnerable? And we spoke about saving face and marriages that are not dissolved because of saving face. Well, that echoes true here. I'm not saying she's anyway thinking of doing that. She's a wonderful woman. She's a wonderful woman. But she is insecure. She is vulnerable. Ultimately, I'm vulnerable here. Absolutely 100% vulnerable here because my visa, as I said, is dependent on my relationship, my status, my marital status with her. But ultimately, the ultimate of ultimate situations, when she retires in 2 years from now, she is devoid of a substantial income. And I say substantial, I mean any real income. So it'll be down on me to be the provider, and the tables will have turned at that stage. So yeah, we are vulnerable, and we put ourselves in that vulnerable situation by choosing to live here. But if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to support yourself without having to rely on your Thai spouse. And usually that's the way it is. I can support myself without relying on her, but I can't maintain my visa status without relying on her. But when push comes to the shove, I'll be reasonably comfortable with my Irish state contributory state pension as long as I reside in a country where the feeble amount I get is an amount that I could live a reasonable life and have a reasonable lifestyle. You wouldn't be able to do it in Ireland. No way, Jose. But you could and can do it in a country like Thailand where the cost of living is a lot less. So that's our vulnerability, lads. We create that vulnerability by allowing ourselves be flung at the behest of an administrative system that is not necessarily working in your favour. And if all goes belly up, then you're screwed. But at least you can go back to your home country and pick up where you left off. I'm 61. I couldn't go back to my home country and pick up where I left off, because who's going to employ a 61-year-old? I'd probably get a job in a convenience store or something, and then, you know, what would I do then? I'd probably end up going crazy, putting it mildly. So there you go, that's the deal. You're vulnerable. You put yourself in this vulnerable situation. But when push comes to shove, they are more vulnerable than us. Let me know what you think. Let me know your experience. Does your Thai spouse, is she entitled to a pension? How much is she entitled to? Because as far as I know, as far as I've been told, because of her inquisitiveness into my future circumstance in relation to my state pension, she has made she's inquired on numerous occasions as to what will unfold or what will happen when I retire. There's a notification. I got something to do online there shortly. What time is it? Yeah, an hour to go. So there you go, lads. We're vulnerable. I'm vulnerable. You're vulnerable. We're more vulnerable here than we are at home. But when it comes to it, if I'm still with her in 4 years' time, in which I should be, hopefully, she'll be the vulnerable one, and I'll be the less vulnerable one, because I'll be the one who brings home the bacon. And you see, you're probably saying that most farang are the ones that bring home the bacon. Well, in my relationship, that's not the case. I do, but it's more 50-50. That's another video. I hope you've enjoyed this one, lads. I really do. It's been varied as much as... It's been varied like my videos always are. And I trust it's been entertaining. If you've been affected by any of the issues brought up in this video, let me know in the comment section. But whatever you do, lads, if you haven't done so already, click the like button, the share button, subscribe button. Do all those wonderful things. And I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me. She's inquired on numerous occasions as to what will unfold or what will happen when I retire. There's a notification. I got something to do online there shortly. What time is it? Yeah, an hour to go. So there you go, lads. We're vulnerable. I'm vulnerable. You're vulnerable. We're more vulnerable here than we are at home. But when it comes to it, if I'm still with her in 4 years' time, in which I should be, hopefully, she'll be the vulnerable one, and I'll be the less vulnerable one, because I'll be the one who brings home the bacon. And you see, you're probably saying that most farang are the ones that bring home the bacon. Well, in my relationship, that's not the case. I do, but it's more 50-50. That's another video. I hope you've enjoyed this one, lads. I really do. It's been varied like my videos always are, and I trust it's been entertaining. If you've been affected by any of the issues brought up in this video, let me know in the comment section. But whatever you do, lads, if you haven't done so already, click the like button, the share button, subscribe button. Do all those wonderful things. and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.